After the final film in Paul W.S. Anderson's live-action Resident Evil series was released in 2016, it was only inevitable that Sony Pictures would reboot Capcom's popular zombie game series for the big screen. And now that reboot, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, is finally in theaters. So, of course, the next question that comes to mind is, what happens next? And the answer is a lot more straightforward than one might think, especially if you stuck around theaters and watched that mid-credits scene. But also, if you've played and beat the first game, and especially the second game, you'll have a better idea of how the series might approach a sequel while still crafting an original story with elements borrowed from the Resident Evil games. We spoke to director Johannes Roberts about that ending and the mid-credits scene to dig into what it all means and where the franchise could go next. By the end of the film, Raccoon City and the Spencer Mansion are destroyed, and all evidence of the zombie outbreak is erased. Only 6 people survive the incident by the end of the film, 5 of which, Chris and Claire Redfield, Jill Valentine, Leon Kennedy, and Sherry Birkin, all escaped together. But there is a 6th survivor who made it out alive and is well aware of the horrors that happened. Albert Wesker, who is portrayed by Tom Hopper and is believed to have been killed. In the mid-credits scene, we see Albert Wesker being freed from a body bag, very much alive. He's confused and unable to see, and then Ada Wong appears, played by Lily Yao. She explains that he'll regain his vision while also gifting Wesker with a pair of his trademark sunglasses.
I love that little sequence there, and it has my favorite Easter egg of the body bag sitting up, from the first game. We brought Ada in earlier into the movie, and I just didn't feel that it was working because it just felt like we were trying to put in one too many main characters within this world, and I felt it swamped it a little. Yeah, we decided then just to leave her for the end credits, and then I think there's a beginning of a whole. We have the movie ends with us seeing Wesker as the character he's gonna become, and introducing Ada.
With the mid-credits scene, we quickly discover that Ada had been working with Wesker, who earlier in the film was hired by Ada on behalf of a mysterious organization to steal some of Umbrella's secrets before the town was destroyed. Ada Wong is a spy who originally appeared in Resident Evil 2, where she had the task of trying to steal a sample of the G-Virus. With Welcome to Raccoon City partly based on the events of Resident Evil 2, fans of the series were likely surprised to see no sign of Ada until the mid-credits scene, given how much of a role she played in the game.
So I think it ends with a lot of promise of things, directions we could go in. This is its own thing. It's very faithful to the games, and it is in love with the games. But I didn't just want to put the games up on screen.
Ada is working for Umbrella's rival company, which is often referred to as the Organization. Not much is known about this mysterious group in the film, but it is strongly implied to be the company from the game that employed both Ada and Wesker. This company was in an arms race with Umbrella Corporation for a few years shortly before Umbrella went bankrupt. Umbrella's rival company would eventually merge into another pharmaceutical company called Tricell. A sequel to Raccoon City has yet to be greenlit by Sony Pictures. Still, based on our conversation with Roberts and the way the film sets things up, there are a few different directions a sequel could take. That said, Roberts did give us a good idea of what game he may adapt should a sequel be greenlit.
I think that the two things that have been talked about and that we're sort of chewing the fat on, a Code Veronica, is very much something that has been kicked around. And I love the 4th game.
There were plenty of elements from the games that Roberts just couldn't fit into this movie, but still hopes we'll see if and when any sequels would happen. Characters like Barry Burton and Rebecca Chambers, for example, and there's that boulder punching scene from Resident Evil 5, which the director and Chris Redfield actor Robbie Amell tried to fit into this movie.
Robbie has such a great sense of humor, and it was just like, oh man, we've got to somehow put this in. All I can hope is we never found a way to make it work, and all I can hope is that somewhere in this new envisioning of the Resident Evil world, that it all leads to this big you know, our chapter 10, whatever it is, of Resident Evil, is Robbie punching his way through a boulder. And that's how we end our epic Resident Evil world.
Regardless, Johannes has been very open about how he wants the reboot film franchise to stick closely to the source material, yet still retain its original voice by making some tweaks and adjustments to the plot, characters, and events that were in the games.
But I would love it. I would love that we don't just use this, if we do come back again, that we don't just use this as a springboard to then just go any direction we want to. I'd love to keep, it was so much fun just throwing ourselves into the game and recreating the game, but telling our own thing. So yeah, hopefully.
For more Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, be sure to check out our review. And for everything else, you're already at the right place, IGN.